So in today's video, I'm going to discuss some more words which can be useful in technical writing, as well as they can help you to expand your vocabulary and to diversify your language. So let's start with the word recant. So recant basically means to take back your belief or statement. So this word can describe somebody who had some strong beliefs in something, and then because of circumstances he was forced to withdraw these particular beliefs. So if we want to create a sentence with this word, we can say that John was forced to recant his theory of genetics following widespread criticism and condemnation. So these kind of things can happen. The next word is fastidious. And fastidious is somebody who is very concerned on aspects of detail. So it's somewhat similar to meticulous, but it has acquired a slightly different connotation, that it is widely used to discuss aspects related to food, clothing, cleanliness, and so on. But we could use it in some context, such as a sentence such as Kumar was fastidious regarding his experimental setup in the lab. So this is probably somebody who is very touchy-feely about his experimental setup and does not want somebody else to touch something there and to also clutter his workspace. So this is some characteristic which is probably good for a typical researcher. The next word is aspersion. And this is a somewhat negative word, and it's typically used in the context of casting doubt on somebody's reputation or something like that. So it is a situation where you may want to besmirch somebody's reputation, or somebody is trying to besmirch your reputation, and that could be used in this particular context. So a possible sentence about this word could be that the presence of a plethora of spelling mistakes in Chen's cover letter cast aspersions on his suitability as a research scientist. So again, this is a slightly mild word, but it can be used in many settings such as this. The next word is pejorative, and we have used it sometime before. And pejorative basically means to suggest the fact that you have contempt for something, or you do not hold something in good esteem or in high esteem. So we can use it in this sentence where we can say that when reviewing a paper, it is not proper to use pejorative terms to castigate the writer. So it basically means we don't want to use negative words, harsh words, slander words, and so on to criticize a particular person. So that is a possible use of like pejorative. Then we have a word Malinger. That's Malinger. And this word basically means pretending to be sick to escape duty or work. So again, this is often used in the context of school children who may pretend that they are sick, and the condition may actually be psychosomatic, not real, and the aim is to not go to school. So again, a possible sentence with this could be that a typical researcher does not need to malinger. He or she can take a day off whenever he wants and can compensate by working more during the weekend. So this is a situation which can happen in the case of typical PhD students as well as research scientists. Now one more word which is similar to recant is to retract. And retract basically means to withdraw, and it's often used in the context of a paper which is retracted from a journal, or for a document which is retracted from somewhere. So we can use this in a sentence such as, due to cases of plagiarism, Chen was forced to retract his thesis. So again, this is something which can take place, and one should guard against plagiarism or any such problem so that we do not have to face these kind of situations. Now, one word I can use is veracity, and I think I have used this before. So veracity basically means conforming to truth or fact. So we could use it in a sentence such as, the veracity of a theory can be verified by comparison with experimental data. So we can use this in the context of technical writing in many places where you have to check the truth of a particular theory or a particular thesis. And again, the veracity of this theory or thesis can be verified by comparing with a different piece of published literature or by comparing with experimental data or flight test data or so on. So that's again a good word to use in the context of technical writing. Now, one more word is callous, and that's written as C-A-L-L-O-U-S. And callous essentially means a disregard for people or somebody else. So we could use it in the format such as, coming late to meetings is a sign of callousness. So this is a point to remember, that whenever somebody is attending a seminar or going to a thesis defense or a meeting, it's important to keep the proper time and to be punctual in those settings. So again, if one is not doing that, then one can be callous. Now, our next word is connotation. So I think I have used this word before. Now, this is basically a subtle word, and it means that there is a word which has a subtle feeling which is different from its literal or primary meaning. So we can use it in a sentence such as, the word discipline has developed a negative connotation due to its connection with punishment. So by itself, the word discipline is a good word if it's used in the context of a person who is self-disciplined, who gets up at the right time every day and goes to his work, goes to bed at the same time every night and so on, goes to exercise, goes for his regular walk, etc. But when it is used in the context of punishment, such as meted out in schools in some countries and so on, then it has acquired a negative connotation. So again, that is the subtle meaning of the word, and it's something which you need to bring out in many situations. So again, like I have mentioned before, many words have a kind of pejorative connotation. So you need to be careful about that. Now, there is one word which doesn't have a pejorative connotation as such. It is actually a very tough word, and that is rusticate. That is R-U-S-T-I-C-A-T-E. And that essentially is used in the context of suspension of a student. And it primarily comes from the universities of Oxford and Cambridge and some British schools, and it has spread around in the Commonwealth. So we can use it in a sentence such as, I told John to stop smoking weed in his dorm room. It could lead to his rustication from the university. So that's a possible good use of the word rusticate. Now, one more word I have used, I think, is obfuscate. That is O-B-F-U-S-C-A-T-E. And this is a word which essentially means that you are making something not clear, difficult to follow, and so on. So again, this may be a situation where we can say that somebody is using a lot of mathematical language and a lot of mathematical symbols which typical people don't know. And the result of all this complex mathematics has been that the particular document has become very difficult to read. So again, we can use it in a situation such as that. So we can say that Chen's use of recondite mathematical notation obfuscated the important practical uses of his papers. So again, this is a word you can use in certain situations. Now there is one more word, and that's abate, A-B-A-T-E. And this basically means to become less bad or widespread. So something which was bad, which you didn't want, it became less so with time. So the level of quote unquote badness reduced with time. So there you can use this particular word. So something like typically damping can abate vibration in structures. So that's a good use of this particular word. And so as you can see, using some of these words in place of regular simpler language can help you to diversify your language. It can also help you to make sure that you can reword sentences and paraphrase paragraphs in a manner such that they are sufficiently different from any papers you are reading or any books you are reading. So as I have mentioned before, whenever you are doing a literature survey or drafting a research proposal or writing a thesis, you are supposed to read a lot of papers and then write the language in these papers in your own words. So again, whenever you do that, there are various words which provide you with a different way of writing that problem out. And it's often possible to use them in the context of technical writing also, or in general scientific or scholarly conversation. So I hope this video was useful to you, and I will put these words in the comment lines and so on, so you can check them out. And again, please stay tuned to my channel for further videos on this topic as well as on different topics related to research and so on. Thank you very much.